Now, for those in the audience getting to know you for the very first time, care to share where you were born?
So, your boy was born in Monrovia, Liberia, to a parents of Pele and Loma tribe, so the one of each individual. And shit, pretty much when I was raised, I was there until I was about 5 or 6 years old. Then I came to the U.S. Was at my I think it was my aunt's and my uncle's place in New York, and they moved to Minnesota. So then what I'm saying, the whole flock pretty much just moved together. So.
And is it that same year you also moved to Minnesota, or was it a different age when that actual move takes place?
It was damn near within the same year. Like it was like we were there for like 6 months, maybe eight, and then we moved. My aunt had a sweet. Actually, no, it was one of my aunts that were there. She had a sweet little penthouse in Madison Square. So that was the first impression I got. Was like, get rich, enjoy this shit. Damn, abundance, like life, like. She wasn't even like doing the best in life to where she could get that, but it was just like back then, like she was sweet. Like she had positioned herself to where she had gotten that kind of like place, and everything was good for her. But then we moved here, and like once we moved to Minnesota, it was like different. Everybody's different. Everybody's a lot more passive aggressive and fake, and not really like being blunt. So it was different, but especially when you still grow up on that mindset of just being yourself, and everybody's trying to like sugarcoat shit. It just doesn't really fit me out till this day. Like I'm still gonna be blunt, but everybody else like, I'm saying they don't want to be themselves. They don't want to speak up. But yeah.
Now, what was the reason for the move from Liberia to New York and New York to Minnesota?
Man, a lot happened. My parents, my family, they were doing well in Liberia. They were doing well. They both had businesses. Life was good. And a civil war broke out. Like a lot of other smaller countries, and immigration happens. Like it's either stay there, you and your family die, or like give up everything that you have and try to live and figure things out from wherever else you end up landing. And they took the latter, and I appreciate them for that because I mean, like they told the stories about people leaving their kids on the side of the road, like dead ass little babies, letting them just perish, like just leaving them crying on the side of the road. Your own child blood you don't fed for like the past like 4 months, but shit happens. It's either you choose to try to feed a child and yourself, and you both starve and die, or you know what I'm saying. Like that's some horrible things to even think about. So I applaud them for everything they went through just to give us an opportunity of a regular life, but. Yeah, like it wasn't for we're just gonna move, you know what I'm saying, like on some yippee ki shit. It was just like no, we have no other choice. Like, and they could have done the same shit. Like I said, they could have like just given up on their kids. I had older siblings, so they were grown, like probably like teens at that time. So they could have given up on everybody. Like imagine having to deal with all that, being in a situation where like you could die at any time just trying to go and get some food for your family. Like, and man, like yeah, I give them their props for sure.
So, just for clarification, the entire family moves from Liberia to New York?
Slowly but surely, yeah. Like in parts, like the youngest first, and like the oldest came, and then like my grandma and shit later on. So.
But when you get to New York, your parents don't come with you.
They did, yeah.
Oh,
No,
they did.
initially they did, yeah. So it was just like my oldest siblings hadn't came yet. My grandma and what I'm saying, grandpa hadn't came yet. My grandpa actually had passed away. He gave me my name, but my grandma hadn't came yet. So it was just like us and our parents at the time. But my oldest siblings weren't here. It was just me and my one of my sisters. Yeah.
And then what was the reason from New York to Minnesota?
Just more space, really. Like everybody was moving here for more opportunity. Like this was like where my uncle was and my dad's brother, and so he was just like, you should guys should move out here. We have a big house. Everybody can start here. There's a lot of good opportunities and jobs, and Minnesota's a good place to like really settle down and raise a family. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, it helped a lot.
And what part of Minnesota?
Minneapolis, Minnesota, so like pretty much in the center of the whole state. But we grew up in Golden Valley, like in the suburbs. It's Thomas Avenue, I'm saying the hoods and shit, but yeah.
So, you grew up in that part of Minneapolis
Mm-hmm.
throughout? your time in Minneapolis?
Yeah, for sure. Pretty much like the suburbs, Golden Valley, Crystal, Plymouth, Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, if you know where that is. But
So these were different parts of the suburbs you moved around, or
right, right.
that's
We moved around for sure. Yeah, we try to like stay in the same locations majority, but like you know, opportunities, shit like better housing, things happen. We had to sell our house a few times, so
and do you still reside in Minneapolis today?
for sure. Only gonna move when she wants to move, cause that's the only reason I'm staying there right now.
And you've already mentioned Liberia and the tribes and things of that nature, but was it a specific part of Liberia that you grew up in, other than what you've said thus far, if you didn't, up until the point you go to New York?
From what I know, it was Monrovia, Liberia, and I think like I forgot like the area, but yeah, like my parents had like two businesses where we used to live, so it was like real pleasant. Yeah,
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone,
yeah.
but can you give the audience 5 tips for moving to Minneapolis?
Moving to Minneapolis, you're gonna need winter gear, so don't even play about it. All right, like this is the first year I ever had ski pants. Yeah, terrible, terrible. You don't want to do that. It's the first year I had ski pants, but you definitely want to have the winter gear, man. You definitely want to make sure you got yourself a job, got yourself a crib, like most places. So that's 3. 4, I want to say like find yourself some hobbies, man, because most people think that working and you know what I'm saying that's enough, but you're gonna feel like you're lost in life if you're not having any kind of direction where you're going. So have yourself a hobby because even in Minnesota where it's like passive aggressive, like you can still make friends, but you still gotta know what your group of people are. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to just go around just trying to be a part of everything. Like, you get lost. So, no matter where you're at, like, know where you're going, what you're doing, be well prepared for the weather, get yourself a job in the crib so you're not homeless and bumming on people's couches. Or if you do start there, don't stay there too long. You know what I'm saying? But I never been on that. I like to stand on my own feet, so I'm well prepared before I go anywhere. But 5th, I would say have some money saved up, man. Most people just jump the gun. I get it. Like sometimes, like you have no other choice, like or like the opportunity comes and you just gotta dip regardless. But save some money, man. Save some money. All that material shit and that designer shit is not gonna do it. I know it's too many of you weak ass motherfuckers back home. All y'all do is just dress up. Y'all cribs looking bummy as hell. Y'all can't even clean up after yourself or cook. Y'all gotta get y'all shit together. Especially if you're thinking about living on your own. Like, what the fuck you gonna do? Eat out every day? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all gotta get your shit together before you do anything involving standing on your own 2 feet. So
Any bonus tips?
don't be no pushover, especially in a new setting. Like it's so easy to just want to accommodate people because you want to avoid conflicts or you don't want to feel like you're stepping on toes or you want to keep friendships because you're in a new place, you don't know anybody. But don't worry about any of that. Just try to be yourself, you know? Like people fuck with you to fuck with you, but one thing you know, you stand on some principles. You know, so.
And what's the coldest temperature you've experienced so far
Oh
in
man.
Minneapolis?
Like negative what, 20 degrees? Even more than that. Yeah, like it gets cold. I think we had it worse, like negative 40, 60 degrees sometimes. So like I said, like you better get them ski pants, man. Ski pants, real gloves and mittens. The ones that just go wrapping around your fingers and just the thumbs. Yeah, you don't want the little finger ones. You want the mittens. All right, keeps you warm for real. But yeah, the place be switching up. Like right now, it's bipolar as hell. The weather going up and down, up and down, up and down. Like it's weird, man.